Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, Valerie. Hello, hello, hello. I think I see some newbies in the house for sure. Some names I've never seen before. So definitely welcome to our newbies. Put a one in the chat if this is your first time on a Ladies and Luggage call. Put a one in the chat. Yes, welcome. Welcome. Mahalia, Crystal, Eldoris, Tania, Nadine, Sharita, Cynthia. Hey, y'all, welcome. Y'all see I'm doing something different to my hair today. We'll see how it turned out tomorrow. We'll see what it looks like. Robin, welcome. Yes, a lot of newbies. Welcome, guys. Hey, LaShawna. And then the OGs are in the building. Hey, y'all. Yesterday's Singapore Bali cough took way longer than anticipated. So yeah, after that, y'all know I go to bed at 8. So after that call, I was zapped. I was zapped out. And my computer was over me. It didn't work anymore. Hello, hello, hello. Y'all, we definitely got something to talk about tomorrow. TSA got some changes coming. Woo! I don't know how good it's gonna work, but let's talk about it tomorrow. We will talk about that tomorrow live, Facebook for sure. Now, this is gonna make y'all definitely gonna make y'all want to get TSA pre-check if you don't got it. I'm telling y'all now. Global entry. Let's take away TSA pre-check. Global entry. It's gonna make you want to be sure to get global entry after we talk about this new update tomorrow. Auntie said she got her say yes, because it is going to be, you're gonna want to have it, okay? You're gonna want to have it. And you may want to, if you don't have it and you don't have global entry, it may make you go ahead and just spend that extra $85 until you get that global entry. I'm just saying, it's worth it. It's worth it, y'all. It's worth it. Let me see if our speaker is here. I told her that I'll give her a few minutes before she logged in. But for the newbies, I am Dacia, one of the owners of Ladies and Luggage, where we curate amazing travel experiences that cultivate sisterhood. So listen, tonight is all about building community. And we are going to talk with the amazing Deborah Owens, who is she's worked for Wells Fargo. She is a wealth coach. So she's going to talk to us about building our wealth at any age. Like, cause I know we got aunties in the building. They like, I'm gonna retire tomorrow. Tomorrow. and I need to make sure my coins are good. What do I need to do? And those of us that are in our 40s and some 30s, I ain't see young buck on here yet. We some of us are like, oh, it's too late for us to start. Even the aunties, it's too late for us to start. Like, where do I even begin? Deborah is going to give us a talk about that tonight because again, y'all know what the old saying is. Social Security ain't gonna be available to us when we get older. And really, I don't even know how true that is. I don't think that that is true. But even still, Social Security is not enough for us to live on for real. Like my parents now, like, and then they have all of these loopholes that you have to jump through in order to even continue to qualify. My mother called me probably last month or the month before, was saying that they wanted information about her life insurance policy for to continue with Medicare or Medicaid, whichever one it is. And I'm like, they don't want us to have nothing. And if it has cash value, it's like having money in the bank. And so that's just crazy. Like we work, all of these years and think we're building to something and think we're gonna be good when we reach 60 and older, and then they come again. They move the goalposts. They move the goalposts on us. And so Deborah is definitely going to come in tonight and talk about that. What's concert queen? Somebody said, what is $85? TSA pre-check is $85. TSA pre-check is $85. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Somebody said, I have TSA pre-check, clear, and global entry. You in the money, baby. That's where you need to be. That's where you need to be. All of them. And especially if you have that American Express, or I think the Chase Inc. gives you credit back for those things. Okay. Also, if you have American Express, while we're waiting on our speaker, let me keep checking if she's on here. If you have American Express, go on to your rewards, your dashboard, to see if there's other things you qualify for. Because I don't even know we had signed up for something about airline. So we have like a $200 credit we can use on airline now. And I'm like, oh, when we sign up for that. But go on to your dashboard and sign up for everything you can sign up for. American Express. Sign up for all the rewards, okay? All of them. You can get all the points, and it's like double dipping if you have like Hilton and Marriott. It's almost like double dipping because you can purchase your stays with your card, use your points, and then have points on the Hilton side and have points on American Express. So definitely sign up for all the rewards. Look and see if your card offers any rewards. Okay. Ew, let's see. Y'all know I keep looking to see if she's in. Let me just message her and tell her to let me know when she gets in the building. One other thing, again, we do a so we do a live on Facebook every day. And so we are looking for you guys to let us know specific topics that you would like for us to talk about. So if you want to put them in the chat, I'll jot them down on my notebook now. But yes, we want to talk about things that you guys want to know about and letting you guys know that I'm just gonna see what day it is. January. We are going to do an online class showing you how to apply for global entry, TSA check, and a passport if you do not have one. Okay. But let me see what day that is because I do not remember. I don't remember what day it is. Okay, it's on January the 3rd. Is that right? No, it's not the 3rd. I'll still be out the country. What was I thinking? I think it's the 13th. Yes, it should be the 13th. January 13th. It's going to be January 13th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I need to fix that because the third was still in Singapore. So January 13th at 1 p.m. we are going to do the class on applying for a passport, renewing a passport, and applying for and renewing your global entry. Facebook is Ladies and Luggage. Our handles on all platforms, Ladies and Luggage on all platforms. Okay. Someone said only certain American Express reimburse you for. Yes, that is true. That is true. Only certain ones will reimburse you. So just make sure. And then, like I said, I want to say the Chase Inc. reimburses you as well. Okay. Have you considered offering short trips like extended weekends for those of us working who can't take multiple 10 days trip? Absolutely. We have some of those already available. We definitely have um like the King holiday weekend. We have, I want to say it's President's weekend in February as well. And then a lot of our trips in the summer, when educators are out and things like that, we have weekends as well. Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend, we do. Making sure I haven't missed anything. Will it post to webinar? I will be at a conference. It will be available. It will be available. I'm going to figure out how to. I'm probably going to have to upload it to YouTube in order to share it because a file just from Zoom is not going to work. So I probably have to upload it to YouTube or Vimeo in order to share it with you guys. Okay. Any weekend trip for New Year's Eve this year? Um, Nothing weekend. It's Singapore. Nothing weekend for New Year's Eve. Next year, New Year's, we have Ghana and Negril. Ghana and Negril next New Year's. But this year it is Singapore, Bali. Okay. Deborah should be coming on, join us shortly. You are welcome. And it looks like you are a newbie, so definitely welcome. Definitely welcome. What time are you on tomorrow? I will be live in the Facebook group. Let me get the newbies who are not in the group yet. Um, get the link, the group. I will be in the Facebook group at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, hold on. Let me put it. Oh, I think I see her coming on now. Okay, there. If you're not in the Facebook group, there's the link to the group. Make sure, one, you have a profile picture. Two, you answer the questions, the group questions, because without those, myself or the moderators will not accept you into the group. So a profile photo and answer the questions in the group. Guess what city finally made the cut for a chapter? Now y'all better, because I've been accepting new requests and I ain't seen none except for one for Memphis. Come, listen, Myrtle, your cousins, tell them to come on. Y'all said y'all was ready. Memphis, y'all said y'all was ready. So it's Memphis and Nashville. I don't think we've seen any from Nashville. There may have been one or two from Memphis. So y'all, let's go, Memphis. Do you know what show you'll be going to in New York City? Not yet. We have two in mind, but not yet. Three. I'm sorry, three in mind. And I see Deborah. Oh, y'all see her back? She got the fireplace going. To bring her up, I am going to do intro. Hold on. I haven't been able to connect to the LA chapter. So you have to make sure. I realized recently a lot of people are checking their email. Once they sign up, they're checking their email from their computer. You have to check your email from your phone. You will not be able to get in WhatsApp via email on your computer. You have to have the email on your phone. And when you get the email, click from your phone into the WhatsApp. That is the only way it will work. You can't get into WhatsApp from your computer. So make sure you go to that email that is automatically sent to you from your phone and not your computer. Okay. All right. So let's go. We're going to go with our intro for Ms. Deborah Owens. Is an American wealth coach and is on a mission to help women overcome their fear of investing through coaching, accountability, and support. She is the founder of Wealthy You, a financial wellness company that has a track record of helping thousands of women transform from cautious savers into confident investors. After spending 2 decades in the investment industry, Deborah has authored 3 critically acclaimed books: A Purse of Your Own, An Easy Guide to Financial Security, published by Simon Schuster, Nickel and Dime Your Way to Wealth, and Confident Investing. Deborah created Wealthy You to give women access to the information that could only be obtained through private wealth managers. She is a 20-year financial service industry veteran and former vice president with Fidelity Investments. Through her research and published work, Ms. Owens has identified the attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors that are essential to achieving personal, professional, and financial success in a dynamic economic environment. These critical success factors or 7 wealthy habits are the framework for the unique insights that are shared in her keynote, seminars, and customized workshops. Ms. Owens founded Wealthy You to create the customized training and coaches for companies and individuals. She holds a Master's of Business Administration from Loyola University of Maryland. Please help me welcome Ms. Deborah Owens. We can't hear you. Mm-mm. You might have to go to your settings. I don't know if you use your computer for like attached to another camera or something.
Now.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. No, I have my Yeti. Oh, I probably needed to turn my mic on. Well, good evening. You know, tech gremlins,
Always.
they don't know how to act.
They do not.
So thank you so much for having me. And I'm so excited about your upcoming event and the fun that we're going to have there, helping women create a purse of their own. I'm going to be dropping some wealth secrets and all of the above. Okay, so I stopped talking, but I was just going to take a breather. Can you hear me okay still?
Yep, we can.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna go mute. I'm muting myself.
Okay, so let's get this party started. I mean, I really want to hear from all of you just about, what are in the chat. I want to make this interactive, right? And certainly you guys heard my bio, but really what I want to share with all of you is I am you. I didn't come from wealth. My mother was the daughter of a sharecropper from Pineapple, Alabama. And, my parents, they migrated from the South. My father was born in Tuscaloosa, and my father, they met, and he promised that he would show her the world. And then he joined the Navy, and they had their first child was born in DC, and their next child was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, where he was stationed. And then they settled in Detroit, and they had 3 more children, and I was their youngest. And as you can imagine, and I'm sure most of you probably had the same type of experience. And that was, I don't know about you, but my parents wanted me to live the American dream. And me being the youngest, by the time, I came along, they, had kind of come up in the middle class, right? They had their come up, they worked in Detroit. That's when you didn't even have to have a high school education, and you could make it solidly in the middle class. And so, my mom, she worked for Chrysler for about 10 years. And then they decided to get ready to retire back to that idyllic place where their second born was born in Hawaii. And after 33 years of marriage, they were all set. Dad was working for United Airlines. So, I know about traveling, y'all. I had traveling credits for years. I was 11 years old flying in first class because my dad had so much seniority. But long story short, my parents separated shortly after moving back to that idyllic place. And I was in my first year of college, and I didn't want my mom to worry about me. So I came out, dropped out of college, and got a job. And I just happened to stumble into this investment company, Merrill Lynch at the time. And then from there was recruited to Fidelity Investments, where I spent most of my career. And what I realized was that the blueprint my parents had given me was the wrong blueprint. Okay, like that wasn't how the wealthy got wealthy. And it's really interesting how you can do. How many of you feel like you did everything you were told, right? Like you went to school, got that degree, did all the things you were told, and yet you still feel like you should be further ahead. Anybody feel like they should be further ahead? Like you've been working. How many of you been working? Sharita says yes. Janice says yes, for sure. So here's what I want you to know. How many of you have been working for more than 10 years? If you've been working for more than 10 years, put your hands up. Put your hands up, right? Woo, Shirley said, I've been working since I was 15. How many of you have been working, since you were for 20 years? If you've been working over 20 years, put your hands up. How many of you have been working over 30 years? If you've been working over 30 years, Lydia says, yeah, I worked 48 years. That's right. Thumbs up. So what I want you to know is that many of you should already be millionaires. But because the knowledge of how to build wealth has been hidden from you, you have 41 years, and you have had some money go through your hands, Now, this I know to be true. Okay. Marilyn says 50 years and I'm retired, right? And yet, because the knowledge of how to build wealth has been hidden from us, our money hasn't grown as fast. Y'all following me? And like, some of can I be real with y'all? Y'all want me to bring the whole authentic Deborah Owens to you in spite of all that stuff that your girl shared with you? Listen, here's what I want you to know is that most of you would already be millionaires. You've had hundreds of thousands of dollars go through your hands. But I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I've coached thousands of women. And some of y'all plan not to lose. In the chat, put plan not to lose. What does that mean? Y'all be like, whoo, if somebody says to you, listen, if you put your money in here, your money not gonna go down in value. That's like music to your ears. Anybody relate to that? And you be like, whoo, oh yeah, that feel good. But here's what I want you to know is you're not gonna win either. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all playing it safe for fear that, something is going to happen or your money's going to go down in value. And what I learned from being in the investment industry, when I first started, it was Black Monday. And I saw the investment markets go down by 20% in one day. But here's what I also learned. While everybody else was selling, the wealthy people weren't selling. What do you think they were doing? What do you think they were doing? That's right, they were buying. All right, they were buying, but they weren't buying just anything. They were buying high, what are called dividend aristocrat stocks that have paid dividends over years. And so the point that I want to make to all of you is what I'm going to be actually sharing at the event. And I hope y'all sign up because I think, right, to see it, you got something special for those of you who sign up. I'm going to be sharing with you the exact blueprint that is now responsible for thousands of women building their first 6, 7, and some are running for 8-figure portfolios. And what they had to learn was how to play to win, how to take calculated risk, right? And so calculated risk means that you've done the homework. People come and they tell you, oh, buy, invest in what you like, invest in what you wear. No, don't do that. You better crunch the numbers. And so that's what I'm really I hope when I'm able to spend some time with all of you in Nashville is to share with you that you got everything you need to be everything you need to be. That it's not difficult, right? But the fact is that the only reason you don't. So I got one more question for y'all, and then I'm gonna answer your questions. So here's what I want you to know. I want to ask you, how many of you have a bachelor's degree? If you got a bachelor's degree, put me in the chat. Put me in the chat. Okay? Me. Okay. So how many of you, a lot of y'all educated. Y'all some educated folks, as my mama would say. How many of you have a master's degree? If you have a master's degree, put me in the chat. Woo! Y'all in tall grass. That's what my mama would say for Pineapple, Alabama. Y'all in tall grass, right? Are there any PhDs in the house? Any PhDs? Okay. Tamiko says PhD. Any MDs? Any MBAs? Any JDs? That's right. Woo! Y'all see, y'all got it going on. But here's the question I have for you. In all of your education, your formal education, did anyone ever sit you down and teach you how the financial markets work, how to analyze and research stocks, how to build an investment portfolio, how to strategy around tax advantaged investing, how to pay less in taxes. Did anybody ever sit you down and did you have any course? And some of you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on these degrees. And what I find really interesting about it, not only interesting, but I will tell you, it is by design, that the most valuable knowledge of all, the most valuable skill of all that you need to learn, you don't learn through your formal education. Ain't that deep? Right? But here's what I want you to know. So imagine me, this young woman, didn't come from wealth, and now I'm in this investment world, and now I'm with all these high net worth clients, and then I'm getting access to all this information. And I'm saying, nobody ever told me that. I never learned that. I never learned this. I never learned that. Now, mind you, I went back to school. I got my bachelor's. I got my MBA. And here's what's really, really, really interesting is that here I am. I'm getting my MBA. I'm like, I am going to ace all of this finance stuff. Do you know I didn't have one class? not one. All I'm gonna tell you is corporate accounting kicked my butt. So I saw somebody in here with an MBA in finance, and I bowed down to you, right? But what I found really, really interesting is even with an MBA, I didn't get the exposure of. But now, mind you, my concentration, right, was in business management. But come on now, don't you think I need to know something about investments, right? And so the point I want to make to all of you, because I really feel like one of the things I've learned, and that's why I started Wealthy You, why we teach you the fundamentals, how to analyze and research investments, build a portfolio. The reason why I created Wealthy You is because what I learned was that this knowledge is inherited. It's not learned from your formal education. If you didn't already have $1 million, and then on your 18th birthday, your parents took you into that private banker and sat you down and told you about all the money they inherited before you got here and all the money you gonna inherit after they leave. If you didn't have that, then the knowledge of how to build wealth is you're not going to be exposed to it. And even now, here's what's deep, and I'm gonna stop here. Here's what's really, really deep. Is that in Wealthy You, we have had people who have had several $100,000. Okay, several $100,000 go into an investment company, and they just put them into some high fee investment. And we have a member who put $1 million with an investment company 10 years ago. And 10 years later, how much do you think that money is worth? Anybody want to guess? I put $1 million in. 10 years later, how much do you think I should have? Anybody, just throw it in the chat. What do you think? Do I have $1.5 million? Do I have $1 million? Right where they started with. Is that crazy? And then the advisor says to them, oh, well, at least you didn't lose money. I'm like, yes, you did. Because that $1 million should have been worth $2 million. Are y'all with me? If your money isn't doubling every 7 to 10 years, then your money is not performing. Okay. And so what I want you to know is that, and fundamentally, this is the most important thing you need to understand, is that to become wealthy, it is not about earning more income. Biggie had it right. More money will not solve your problems. You've got to learn how to turn that income into wealth. And that's what we're going to be talking about when we get to Tennessee. And y'all are going to see this nice little book with all the secrets in it. I'm going to be sharing with you some remarkable stories, as well as we call it our Legacy Wealth Blueprint, and it is responsible for accelerating the financial growth of thousands of women who, like you, maybe didn't get that knowledge in your formal education and are wondering why you're not further ahead and would like to be able to go on some of these trips and not even go on the payment plan. You just like, poof, I'm going. You know, every time my girl throw it, I saw her little trips to Martha's Vineyards. You think I ain't been scoping you out? I saw the Martha's Vineyard trip, and then where was the other trip? What? Yeah, tell me now. I see you have Martha's Vineyard, and then San Diego. See, don't be playing with me now, right? Now, and so that's what I want you to understand: is wealth is more than money. It's freedom, right? It's the ability to live the life. You work hard. And I'm going to tell you, I work really hard. But you know what? I have a lot of fun too. And that's in Wealthy You. That's what we love to do. We build wealth. I even have Wind Down Wednesdays, which I normally would be doing this evening. We have a lot of fun, but we make sure that there's a balance. And with that, I know I said a mouthful. Money is just a tool. That's right, Robin. And so with that, I'd love to take some questions now, Dacia.
Okay, ladies, if you have questions, you can raise your hand and then I will take you off of mute. Raise your hands. If you don't know how to raise your hand, I don't know what type of phone you have. I think iPhone is at the bottom, the three little dots. All of them is at the bottom of the screen. You have to hit the raise your hand emoji. Okay. Any questions?
No questions.
I just want to say you are beautiful. Oh, for sure. There's Valerie. Hold on, Valerie. I got you.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I have a young daughter. And man, if I start looking like I don't have it together, she will let you know. She'll be like, Mama, how are you doing?
Valerie, it's on you. Go ahead.
Okay, I see some hands up though. You see some hands raised?
Yep, they're up there.
You hear me?
Yep, I got you. You're on.
Hi, good evening. I just wanted to thank you, Ms. Owens. I will definitely be there in March to get the invitation. I'm looking forward to it because I'm on the verge of retiring, but I have a 30-year-old doctor.
Okay.
She's facing, the debt for medical school and all of that. So maybe I would be able to impart your wisdom to her to kind of give her, an aim and a goal or like somewhere to start from. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's fantastic. And, I'm so glad that you brought that up. Well, first of all, let me applaud. Yo, honey, you got a doctor. That's saying something, right? So I can just imagine the sacrifice that you as parents made in order for her to have that opportunity. What I would say, one of the other points I want to make is that's why it's so important that you get this information. I want you guys to understand this, is that the reason why I'm on a mission to help 1 million women get to $1 million in investable assets, it's not the money, right? It's the mission. And the mission is for you to acquire that knowledge of how to build wealth so that you can now pass that on to your family. Are y'all with me?
Yeah.
I mean, here's what I want you to know is that you can build wealth in a generation and lose it in the next. And in fact, there's a study that, when Blacks build wealth, that they lose it within a generation. When Asians built wealth and it lasts over, I want to say 4 generations. Well, the sad part is that even as you build it, that inherited wealth after the 3rd or 4th generation, it goes away. And why do you think that is? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess?
People are living off the inheritance and not knowing how to promulgate that and further it.
Amen. You do not value what you don't earn. It's impossible, right? And so, even with parents, you have to be very careful about, you know, we want to create this middle class nirvana for our children. We don't want them to go through hardship. They need to go through hardship. So that's the only, so that, you know, my kids will tell you, my kids were working since they were 12 years old, and half of their paycheck went in a mutual fund. And then when they got to college, half of that money went into paid for their, you know, their fees, even though we did a 529 plan. And so that's the point. That's right, Tara. They stop teaching each generation. And so when you don't earn it, you get lazy. You know what I mean? You get lazy and you get careless. That's why you see the ultra rich, what they'll do is they'll have their kids start at the bottom in the mailroom. That's why, because they need to see how it was earned. Excellent. So I'm glad you are coming. So let me is there another question, Dacia?
Yep. Sharon, you are up next. Bringing you off mute.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks for this valuable information. I will not be in Tennessee, so I will not be attending the retreat to meet you in person, but I am retired.
Okay.
I retired a couple of years ago.
You
Through my
sound
job.
young, girl. That's all I'm gonna say. Can
I did. I
ask you how
retired at
old you are?
57.
Yeah, girl, you young.
But I'm about to be 60 in a couple of more months.
Okay.
And so I do get a pension check once a month, and you know, it's enough to take care of my household and everything. But I have a 401k that I was investing in. And so right now it's sitting in like a IRA money market, which
Ooh,
is
Lord
only
Jesus. Y'all ever yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be
so
like Fred Sanford. Girl, you said what?
well, I'm not losing any money. I am getting a little bit
Yeah,
of
but you're not
interest.
making any either, man. I mean, interest
So
rates have went up. I'll give you that, right? So you're making more than you were a year ago. But I'm sorry, I'm being silly.
no, you're right. You're right. And I mean, you know, I am eligible to start pulling the money, but I have, you know, I'm not ready to do that because I want to try to figure out a plan on how to pay off my mortgage with the money that's in a tax deferred account. Well, it came from a tax deferred account, so when I start withdrawing, I'm gonna have to pay tax.
Oh, we need to chat, honey. Woo.
Yeah, we
Boy, am
do.
I glad you was on here. You know? Oh, yes. So here's what I'm going to say for all of you who may not be in Tennessee, although I hope to come and spend some time with you. If you go to wealthyu.com and you join the community, and in fact, there's free training on there. But one of the things I want to make sure that all of you can get a free wealth ignition session, and that's where, you know, we just take a look at what you have, right? But listen, all I'm going to say is that's how so much of our money gets away from us, is we don't know what we don't know. And all I'm going to tell you is wait before you make any decisions. You really want more knowledge. And so, like, people might say to me, oh, well, you might be thinking, oh, Miss Deb, well, what should she do? Any of y'all thinking that? If you thinking that, yes. If you think, Deb, well, just tell her what she should do. Yeah, anybody thinking that? Saying, yeah, just tell her what she can do. Anybody thinking that? Let me tell you something. Anybody that knows me, that when it comes to making a decision, the first thing I'm gonna say is crunch the numbers, right? And that's what I mean by taking calculated risk. Everything ain't for everybody. And that's how we get into trouble, right? So you might have heard somebody say, girl, you need to pay off that mortgage, then you won't have to worry about it. Right? Is that what some of y'all thinking? Woo, yeah, girl, pay off that mortgage. If you got that money, then you won't have to think about it. But what you don't understand, you are about to kill the goose right, that can lay the golden eggs. And so what is very, very important that we understand are two things. It's not how much money we make, it's how much we keep. And so for every dime you take out of that 401k, it's going to be a taxable consequence. On the other hand, even the pension that you're getting, right, that's all taxable income. So you have nothing offsetting that taxable income. You paying more taxes on that. And then when you get to 62, you could start taking your retirement. But then if you make any money on the side, they're going to take that money too. You see what I'm saying? So do you know, I have had people listen to people, girl, you better take your Social Security when you get it. Don't you know they have to suspend those payments because they're making money on side jobs? And I think it's now, if you just make over 20, it used to be 12,000. I think they put it up to 20,000. Then you're going to impact your benefits. So the point that I'm going to make is that you need to understand the ramifications of all of it. And then lastly, what I want to tell, especially women, is that the risk is not dying too soon anymore. It's living too long. Are y'all with me? So just think about it. You have seen in the past 3 years, eggs go from what? $2.50 to $6. Okay. Now, the fact is that your money has to grow to keep up with inflation. And inflation has historically been about 3%. So that if you aren't earning at least 3%, you're not even making money. You might as well just go put it in the mattress, right? And then even beyond that, I ain't even put taxes into the equation, right? And so what we don't understand so many times is tax advantage strategies, right? And so if we look at our tax law, it rewards entrepreneurship, right? Like you're able to offset your expenses. Whereas, you know, if you're a W-2 earner, you can either take the standard deduction, but you don't get to write off a lot of things. Are y'all with me? Y'all following me? We don't understand that real estate is one of the few things that is tax advantage, that the mortgage interest you're able to write off against your income. Now, you know, there are certain schools of thought, but the point I want to make is you want to look at your overall picture and understand what the net is. What is the after tax and all of the other things return, and literally that'll tell you what decisions you can make. You know, and we have levels, right, in Wealthy You, where if you're running for your first 6 figures, then you know clearly you're at a wealth acceleration stage, because we need to get you to multiple 6 figures, right? But if you're running for your first 7 figures, there's other, you feel like, oh, you can exhale, you know, I'm a millionaire. Well, now you're typically going to be in a higher tax bracket. And so now you got to think about what are the strategies that you can employ that can diminish some of and so you need some tax advantage strategies, right? Like, here's what I want you to know. What I learned when I started working with high net worth people, I was like, we playing checkers, they playing chess. You know what I mean? Like, they playing 3-dimensional chess. So you wonder why people, why Trump put his kids to work in his business. Why? Because then every dime he gave them was an expense. Are y'all following me? You wonder why, people buy real estate, is because as an investment, real estate is one of the few things that you can write off the depreciation of the asset, meaning the entire value of the property can be written off. If it's commercial, I forget, I think it's 39 years, or if it's residential, right? So that can offset the earned income. Listen, earned income is the most expensive expensive income you can earn. W-2 income. Are y'all with me? So all of y'all need to have some kind of side hustle. Right? I mean, that's a fact. So I know that was like a long response, but I just, like I gotta sing it, I gotta shout it to the rooftops. We must learn strategy and how to turn our income into wealth.
So I have a question. Someone asked, if I'm 62, is it too late to reach the $1 million mark?
It's never too late. It's just a function of what are you willing to do, right? Like, we have people in Wealthy You that it took them 25 years to get to so far in their 401k, and in just 4 years they doubled that, right? So your ability to build wealth is a function of two things: taking a portion of your income and investing it, and in making that investment grow at a more rapid rate. If you will do those two things, you can accomplish anything, right? So sometimes we got to do what we have to do in order to do what we want to do. So Dorothy just said, if I have 50K, where should I invest it? It depends, right? So I'm going to give y'all a rule of thumb, okay? Whenever you're thinking about where you're going to invest money, the first thing is, what is the goal, right? What do you want that money to do? So if you just want it, it's your emergency fund. If something's going to happen, you're going to have to get to that money. You can't take a lot of risk, right? That's short term. So the only thing you could put it in is a money market. But let's say the goal is like, who was it that just said, I'm 62, can I make it to $1 million? You say, you know what? I'm going to take this 50 and I'm going to invest it. And then I'm going to invest more every month on top of it. And, I'm going to leave that money alone for 7 or 8 years, right? Then she can be aggressive. And then she could put it in investments that are going to go up and down. But what I want to tell you is, one of the things you'll learn in Wealthy You is that really works in your favor. Volatility will work in your favor if you know that song, Everything's Working in My Favor. That's how I feel about investments in the stock market, right? If you know what you're doing, then everything will work in your favor. So the question is, if I have 50K, what's the goal? Then how long before I'm going to need that money? That's the time frame, right? And that will tell you where to invest your money. The longer the time you have before you're going to need it, the more aggressive you can be. I hope that was helpful.
Robin Rhodes has a question.
Okay.
If I can uh, get her off of mute. Robin, I don't know. Let's see.
Wow, you got 168 participants. Girl, you told me it was going to be 40 people here.
No, I said 30%, 30%, like a 30% sure rate.
I'm messing with
you. Yes, they come out. They come out, Deborah. There you go, Robin.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I'm already retired and almost at that point where I have to take the required mandatory RMD, required mandatory distribution.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, is the best way to do that? And one of the things you also mentioned, about having money and investing, you can't plan for everything. Why I say that is because I was well on that level of being a millionaire, but I had a brain injury that cost me $300,000 to stay alive. So that plummeted what I had. of course, drastically. Somebody asked if it's ever too late, but I still have money invested in the Roth 401k, money market, all kind of stuff, and I still have a little bit of stash cash. I want to know some suggestions on strategies on which I could do to continue to build the money back up, and also about how the RMD is going to affect me. I mean, I have
Yeah,
no choice
so
but to do
so a
that.
couple of things. This is great because this is a great lesson, I think, for everybody listening. Okay. So first, let me just explain what minimum required distributions are, right?
Hmm.
So the government says that you have had this money in this account and you haven't paid taxes on it, whether it's your 401k or whatever. And so at some point, we want our taxes. So based on your life expectancy, each year they say, here's the minimum amount you have to take out. And now, so what rule are you under? They just increased the age to 72? Is that the
No,
age?
it's 73
Okay, so it's 73, right? Okay,
and I'm 71.
okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. Take out the very minimum. But what you need to do is have that investment company help you determine what that minimum required distribution is. And you're going to need to look at all of your assets in their totality. So what do I mean by that? You said you got a 401k, you got a Roth IRA. And so let's say all of that is, I'm just going to use $100,000 just to keep the numbers round, right?
Okay.
So I got
Hmm.
$100,000 in all of these accounts, and I'm 73, and they're saying that my life expectancy for women, I want to say, is 88 or 89, right? So
Hmm.
I'm 89, so that's 16 years. So they're basically going to divide that 100,000 by 16, right? And so that's going to be what? 10 goes into 100. So that's going to be roughly less than 5. So it might be about $6,000 or $7,000 a year, right? So just divide
Right.
100,000 by 16, and that's going to tell you what your amount's going to be. But what you need to be very, very, what you know, that's the downside of having your money in different places, is trying to keep track of that minimum required distribution. You just want to make sure that you do the minimum. It's about 6,000. Thank you. Because you want to do the minimum, you want to make sure you get that minimum, because if you don't, they're going to penalize you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so then how should you take that money out? Well, I would take that money out of the account that is going to have the least tax consequences, right?
Right.
I
Hmm.
would talk to an accountant. I probably would start with my Roth, okay? Because you need to ask the accountant, will that count, right? Because when you take the money out of the Roth, it is non-taxable. But would that still count to your minimum required distribution? So here's an example. Let's say that 20,000 of that 100,000 is in a Roth IRA. When you make that distribution is going to be non-taxable. Will that count towards your minimum required distribution? That's the only thing I'm saying. You want to be tax efficient.
Okay.
Okay. So, but you need to have an accountant. Don't fool around with this, right? So if you've got a major investment company like Fidelity or Schwab, oftentimes they can make those computations for you. And typically they'll see
Yeah,
your
I have
age and
Fidelity.
they'll say, oh, it's time for you to make your minimum required distribution. But remember, they don't have all of your money. And so you need to make sure that each institution that money is out is taking the minimum required. Make sense? And then
Yes.
lastly,
Hmm.
if you don't need the money to live on, I would just take that money and invest it. Right? So now you're going to invest it in something that is not a tax deferred account. Right? And one of the other strategies is to invest it in dividend paying investments, because and you could take if you needed the income, you could take the dividend income, and that's taxed at a lower rate. Right? Again, Earned income, W-2 income is taxed at the highest rate. So, you know, one of the strategies that women are using in Wealthy You is they're actually building dividend portfolios. So they're just buying stocks and
That pay dividends, yeah. All right. And I am drawing my Social Security, and it's enough to cover all of my expenses and then some. So the then some I put away with the profit that I made on selling my house a couple years ago. And I'm thinking that maybe I should invest that in something independent of my
if you don't
Fidelity
need the
account.
income, yeah, like if you don't need the income,
I don't
because
need it
what
right
I
now.
want you to know, not right now, but well, you know, like your expenses are gonna go up later.
Yes.
And so now that's how you're gonna make your money work for you, right? So now you're not working, so now you got to make your money keep up with inflation, right? But you need to do it in a here's all I want to say. I want to clear this up because I think that I want to retire the word retirement.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason I want to do that is because when Social Security was implemented and where they got that 65-year age from was our life expectancy was 65. Okay. So they didn't expect people to be collecting Social Security for 30 years beyond that. Okay. So our life expectancy for women is about 88. So I still feel my parents lived till they were 91 and 95, right? So at every stage now, you really have to make sure that you're investing your money in something that's going to pay a return above inflation so that you're able to live and you won't run out of money. Is that making sense, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Any other questions?
I think I saw one. Hold on. It
Yeah.
said, can I manage my own investment or should I have someone to manage it?
Ooh, Lord. Listen, you cannot delegate your finances to anyone. Okay. Now, I'm not saying do not use a financial advisor. I'm saying understand how things work, what the recommendations they give you. You have to be able to evaluate the recommendations that you're given. So I don't think it's an either. I think it's an and. Are y'all with me? Like I have sort of like private clients, and I don't recommend anything. I don't manage assets. What I do is teach you how to discover the right answer. That's what Wealthy You is designed to. Once you a year in Wealthy You, and if somebody comes to you with a recommendation, you're going to be able to analyze it and research it yourself and come to a decision. That's real power. Are y'all with me? The knowledge of how to build wealth is the power. And with that, oh girl, we done went all late and everything. Thank you so much for having me, guys. So in the chat, let me know who's going to Tennessee, who's going to be hanging out with me. If y'all aren't going to be hanging out with me, in the chat, let me, okay, so Denise is going to be there. All right, Shirley going to be there. Crystal's going to be there. All right, who else? Sandra's going to be there. Going, Kim, so y'all can get y'all autographed books as well. I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me. And again, if any of you aren't attending and you want to go to the website, there's free training. You can sign up to learn more about what we offer. And I so appreciate your having me on this evening.
So make sure that you put the website. I think I put the website, and then people are asking about the book. If there's a particular link or something, if not, someone found it on Amazon, but I don't know if you
Amazon.com is the easiest way, honey. You know what? I don't even try to compete with Amazon. How you gonna give me some money and then we gonna ship it out quicker than, if you went on Amazon tonight, they would have it available to you. One thing though is we do have, let me just see if I have that information. We do have a kit that is has the audio book as well as the ebook and the book if you'd like that. And let me find what that is. Give me just a second, because people be giving me links and I be giving out the wrong thing and my team be all mad. Like, how come you didn't know that? It's like, okay.
and I'm
How was
putting
I supposed to remember all that? Hang on one second. That is our VIP kit. Okay, yeah, it's our Wealth Secrets bundle. I'm gonna put it in the chat. There you go. If you guys are interested in the audio book, I think there's a training in that bundle as well. But again, go to the website, join the community. You'll hear, we rocking and rolling. It's just a great community. It's all like-minded women. When I call them winners, they want it. They know I am responsible and no excuses. And when you can do that, we teach you how to win it well. So thank you so much for having me on this evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah, and we'll talk soon.
All right, take care.
Hey, ladies, I hope that was great for you. Deborah is a wealth of information. And again, you have until tomorrow if you want to join us in Nashville, March 22nd, 22 through 26th, $100 off. I put the link in the chat. I will do it again. Also, to join Deborah's Facebook group, that is the group link there. Someone put the link to her bundle. This is the link for the Nashville Empowerment Retreat. Again, it's $100 off until tomorrow using Wealthy Talk as at checkout. Next up, next week, Tuesday, we will have our wellness coach coming in on Tuesday, and then the relationship expert coming in on Wednesday, both at 6:30 p.m. We'll send out the links for that. We don't want to send them all at one time. We'll send the links out for that starting tomorrow, so you guys can register for those and have a great rest of y'all night. Talk to y'all tomorrow.